Hey everyone, happy Friday. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I have my first snowfall here in eastern Pennsylvania. I think we have about 3 inches. It's so pretty. I love it. I love the first one. I love to look at it and then I'm done. I don't want any more. My dog Bailey hates the snow. He just didn't even want to go outside today. So it's a little rough. He's a Florida dog for sure. Anyway, let's get started. Today I am making a easel, gatefold easel card. So it opens, it's a belly band on top. And when you open it up, then this comes up and this is the easel part. Isn't that cool? I saw a lot of people make this on Pinterest, and I did follow Sharon Armstrong's instructions. She had a little trick that I'll tell you about to help it fold and lay flat. But I just thought this was so cute, and I love making the fun fold. So I used the, where is it? The Lotta Love, a little latte. I get the names wrong all the time. This is in the annual catalog, and there are some, I did die cut this piece from this piece of paper. There are dies that go with it. It die cut some of the images on the paper, and then there's some great images here. So I stamped these cups, and I colored them with Stampin' Blends, Light Lost Lagoon, and Light Pumpkin Pie. And then I stamped this in the Pecan Pie, which is the color of the card base. So let's put this over here. And before we get into the card that we're going to make today, I just wanted to let you know that I am having a BOGO sale, a buy one, get one free sale. And that's tomorrow, November 23rd. It's at 2 p.m. on Facebook. And the way it works is I will be getting rid of my retired Stampin' Up! Products. I don't really use them. Once they're retired, I don't use them because I'm, trying to display and demonstrate on new product. So I do this once a year. Maybe I'll do it twice a year this year because I have a lot of stuff. And what happens is I will show each item with a number. And then if you want that item, you claim it. You say claim number 1 or whatever it is. And my daughter's going to help me out, and she's going to keep track of who claims what. And at the end, whatever you spend, say you purchased or you claimed $60 worth of product, you would then go to my online store and purchase $60 of product, and you'll get the retired product for free. And you'll just have to pay shipping. And I have all the details at a Facebook group. So you will purchase new product and you will get the equal value of my retired product for free. And I have it discounted. I'm not putting the value of the original value on it. I hope that makes sense. So that's how it will work. It's in a Facebook group. It's tomorrow, November 23rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. There's a link below this video with the link to the Facebook group. It's a public group, and I will just go live and start going through it. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, leave me a comment or email me, patty@pspapercrafts.com. So let's get into our card. So this time I have the pieces cut, and we're going to use the winterly tree tops. I love the birds, you know me. So that the stamp set and dies, and then the paper. Okay, so those are the products we'll use today. So I am using Coastal Cabana, and that's one of the colors in the papers. And so these are the designer series papers. And I'll go through as I'm going with the sizes, but I will have a project sheet, a link below with a project sheet with all of the measurements and the instructions. So don't worry about it if you don't, catch it. And if you're watching this, you can print it out and then watch it, or open it up and then watch while you're making the card. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is create our card base. So the card base is this. this whole thing here, okay? So that's one piece, and that's what we're going to create first. So we're using a whole piece of 8.5 by 11. Let me put this the other way. And then we're going to get our trimmer out. And let me just put this aside. So we're going to keep our cutting blade up, and we're going to use our scoring blade, and we're going to move this over to 2 1/8. Okay, and we're going to score at 2 1/8. And then we're going to turn the whole sheet over. So this is the 8.5 side, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to score at 2 1/8. Okay, and then we're going to turn it so you're on the 11 side, and we are going to score at 2 3/4. And then 5 1/2. Okay, and this is what the half a card, you know, the A2 card size is. So now we're going to cut. I don't know if you can see these. So this is, if you look at this card, this is what we have. So we're going to cut away these 2 boxes and these 2 boxes, down and over, down and over. And the trick that I learned from Sharon is when you're cutting down on these, you want this to be just a little bit narrower than where the score lines are. So for this to fold, I don't know if you can see, it's just, she called it a scotch. It's just a tiny bit below that score line. Otherwise, if you're right up against the score line and you close it, it'll be bulky. So if you do both sides and just go to the score line and then over a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut off these 2 squares and these 2 squares, but we're going to come in this way a little bit past, just really a little bit. You don't want it to be too noticeable. So what I'm going to do, and it's very hard to see, I should have a light on, but then the lighting isn't good on the camera. So I have it right at the groove, so I'm going to move it over this way to the right. I'm moving it over this way, so I'm just a hair past that line. And we're going to close this down, and I'll kind of lock it in, and we're going to cut all the way down to the 5 1/2 mark. So this is my scoring blade. So I'm going to go all the way down to the 5 1/2 mark. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing, only I'm going to come in this way a little bit more. So we'll line this up. I'm going to put this up here again. So we're going to line it up so it's right at this groove, or whatever this is, the line there, and we're going to just move it over just a hair. Okay, and then we'll come down, and then I'm going to go right down to the 5 1/2. You really go into this 5 1/2 score line. I'm using the trimmer number, or trimmer measurements. So now you've got these. You can either fussy cut it right here if you cut straight, or you could put it in here. Now this, you want to go right on the line, the score line. I really can't see it, so I'm going to pick it up. I guess I could put my head in it, and I'm going to go from the cut line up. I'm going to pick this up because I don't want to cut any more, and I'm going to go from this cut line down. Okay, and if it's not, it doesn't fall out, you could just snip it. So that one came out, and this one, there we go. Okay, so now we have our card base. So just take your time with it. It's a little bit, you know, tricky, I'll say, but it's not bad. It's easy. One should just know what the measurements are. And we'll just fold these in. So these should meet in the middle. And then this one we're going to fold down. See how nicely it lays now? Oh. Right? And then this one is going to fold this way. So that was the hardest part. Now we decorate. So that's your easel card. So I have 4 pieces of this designer series paper, and each one of these is 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, and these pieces will go front and back of the gatefold part. So let's get those all added. I have a brand new glue, so of course it's going to be coming out quick. So, and it doesn't matter what order you put these in. You just want to have a kind of an equal border around each side. Okay. And I think this is really a fun card. I guess they all are. I think I say that every video. It's a fun fold, right? I'm just going to put that up, and then we'll do the outside flaps. I hated to cut this paper because this bird, and I die cut it, that whole sheet you can die cut the birds from. So I didn't want to cut it, but you get 2 sheets in each pack. All right, and then one more of these. I played in my community. We do a lot of games. We play Mahjong and cards, canasta, and the other night we played BOGO. And there were 28 of us. It was really a lot of fun. It was the first time for me and for many others that were there to play. So it was a little bit rough getting started, but boy, we had a good time. So this piece is 4 by 5 1/4, kind of your normal inside layer. And this is also from that designer series paper pack. I have a little glue there. Okay, so that is our base, right? And now we want to decorate the piece that's going to sit at the easel, okay? So I did die cut, as I said. I die cut these birds. Let me just show you. From this paper. And I just love the way they're colored. I mean, you can stamp it and color it yourself. So you could die cut this bird or these 2 birds. And I thought they went well with the color of the paper. And then this piece I'm going to use on the inside. And I fussy cut that from here. Okay, and then I have a couple of branches that I die cut with the dies from Shaded Spruce. So these are our decorating pieces. So the first thing I think we want to do is stamp. Let me put this down. So this is a piece of 3 3/4 by 5, and then I have a piece of Coastal Cabana, and that's 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to sit up here. But let's stamp it first. I was trying to decide whether to use the A Friend Like You Brings Happiness or Thinking of You Always, but I think I'm going to do this one. I was going to do the Thinking of You Always on the front, but I feel like there's not a lot with these birds, not a lot of room. So we're going to go with this, and I am going to use Shaded Spruce because I do have some Shaded Spruce branches, and I do believe that's what's in this color. So you can use whatever color you want. A Friend Like You Brings Me Happiness. I'm just going to put it right up here. And then this guy is going to come right here. So I'll glue him down. Again, this glue is coming out mighty thick. And make sure I'm in camera here. Okay, and then we'll put this right on here. See how easy it's coming together? And then this is going to sit on here. So I'm going to put the glue, you could either put the glue here and make sure you don't go too high. I'm going to put the glue here, but I don't want to go out too far because there will be a white border. So we'll keep it in a little bit. And then this is going to lay here, and it will have a border on the bottom and the sides. Try to make them straight and equal. Here's the plow. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a plow coming by. Okay, so this is how the card will look, and then it pops up, and when we pop it up, we need something to hold it up, and that's where I thought the idea of these two kind of pine branches would hold that in. Not sure how good it will be with the I'm going to use dimensionals on it. I think I might need minis because these look kind of small. Let me see what I have here. Doesn't look like there's a lot of room. So I'm going to put 2 minis. And if you don't have minis, you can just cut your dimensionals. Cut them in half. I just don't want it showing behind. I think that might be too big. Maybe I'll cut my big dimensionals. So a lot of times what I'll do is cut along the rim, this side. And I even cut them in half sometimes. Let's see if this will fit. This is going to be too big as well. So I'm going to cut it down. And I'll put one right here. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'll do this bigger one instead of the mini. And try to fit that here. You just don't want it showing on the other side. And then I'm going to cut this one down a little bit too. Cut it even further. And put that right here. Oops, it took both pieces. Okay, so then you want to decide how far up you want this. You want it to stand up like this, down like this. So I think this is good. So what I'll do is I'll take off the backing. I think the backing already came off on here. And then we'll put this other one. I was going to put the bird down here, but I feel like it's too big and I like it up there. Come on. It's so tiny. Okay, isn't that cute? I think it's really cute. Then it will fold down, fold up. And then what we want to do is make the belly band. So the belly band on this is 2 inches by 9. And I did the same thing here. And I'm going to see how we like it. I might cut it down a little bit. So I thought we would put this down and this. And this is where I was going to put the thinking of you. Will that work? I think it might work. So let's do that. I think I might do that in black though, because because I feel like there's no shaded spruce on the outside. Let me get black. So let's try that. And I'm going to go high as I can. Thinking of you always. I think that's nice. And then put the birds here. Yeah, that looks good, right? And then I'm going to put them down with glue. I'm not going to go all the way to the outside. See how it's hanging over the tail? So I'm going to kind of keep the glue in the center. See, so this is the back of that paper that we used. So put this right down like this. And then what we'll do is create our belly band. So on this, the belly band, because I have this white, is shorter, narrower than the outside. I attached it in the back. I put the seam in the back. I don't think it matters. Nobody will really look at that. But on this one, I'm going to put it in the front because this circle will cover it, I believe. So we're going to just fold it. And for some reason, I always go crooked and fold it. Yeah, isn't that pretty? I think that's really pretty. So I want to use tear and tape for this. So I'm going to just cut a couple of pieces of tear and tape. This is nice and strong. And I want to really put them close together because there's not much overlap here. One more piece. You can make the belly band longer. I know a lot of people make it like 11 inches. They just cut the strip, but I didn't want it to be that long. So I'm going to put it right up against the other one. And just rub it. And then pull off the release. And if it doesn't come off, just rub it again. You want that bottom part to stick. Why isn't it working? Ha! That side isn't working. This side will. Okay, yeah, for some reason it doesn't seem to be sticky down there. Now my advice is don't put the belly band, oh my goodness, around until you lay it in the card. And you want to just lay this down and lay this down. You don't want to really pull it too tight because you want to be able to glide it up and down, okay? And then we'll put this on with some dimensionals. So I think I'll put dimensionals across the, like this and this, but not too, maybe just across the bottom, across the middle. You could put them on here as well. Maybe we'll put them on here just to be safe. So I'm going to put a few on. 3. I've got this little guy hanging out. And I'm going to put one here and here. There'll be a lot of flopping around with this card, you know, pulling it up and down. So I want to make sure it's nice and secure. Okay. Thinking of you always. Isn't that pretty? Thinking of you always. A friend like you brings me happiness. So that's how it will look on somebody's table. So pretty. So then we close this up, and put it right inside. And it may take a little bit when you're first doing it to open and close it. And here's the other one. Very cute cards. Should we add some bling to this? On this one I added, and I think it might be pretty on this one too. These are these pecan pie and clear. They're ribboned. I don't know if you could see it, but there's like a little design in it. So let's put a couple on this of the clear ones. So let's take some of the clear ones. Let me see, where am I going to put it? So they're small and large. I'm going to do the small. We'll put one here, maybe a large one. Boy, these are really, really stuck down there. And then maybe here or here. I'll put it here. Okay. So those are the cards. Next week we will be doing an explosion card. I never made one of those before. Those are fun. They're fun to open. It's another gatefold kind of thing, but when you open it, it explodes. I bet you could put some kind of confetti in it too to really make it fun. But anyway, again, I just want to remind you, so tomorrow, 2 p.m., I have a Facebook group, and it's public, so anybody can join it. And there's a link below, and you can get some really good free product, my retired product, for free when you do equal value when you purchase from my online store. All right, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next Friday. Have a wonderful week, and have a great Thanksgiving. I hope you all enjoy it. Take care.